Hello and welcome back to Tatarigoroshi. Last session was pretty good. We got together with Irie and it seemed like he was trustworthy, but it turns out he was planning on sedating us. So, um, yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't trust Irie because it falls into my clinic theory, but and it didn't really. I guess even that scene itself didn't really help support my theory because it just seemed more like he didn't believe Keiichi, or even if he did believe Keiichi, he was still gonna turn him in or whatever. Um, but there's that line, that sarcastic joke line, where it's like, "Oh, let me give you an injection and I'll turn you into my pretty maids," which kind of can be like humorous like hints, I guess, where it's like it's supposed to be a humorous line, but it's also like a hint. But I think we were gonna get a chapter in, but it was like an hour and almost 20 minutes, right? So had to take a break. But I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Keiichi's coming back home, but Irie did say he was gonna call the parents, so this might not be a good idea, anyways. I rode swiftly and returned to my home. It had begun to rain during my journey back, and just like yesterday, I was now soaked. Also, we got to confirm that Takano, or at least they said that Takano was the one who died in the barrel. And they mentioned another person who we don't know. Um, Risa? Risa? Something like that? Who also died, who I'm guessing worked with the clinic. And I did say that maybe that's Satoko's mom because we don't have a name, and maybe that's why he cares about Satoko because she was part of the clinic, and so they were kind of close. And the fact that he said, "Oh, the curse killed him," that means it had to be one of the women who died, and it's either that or Rika's mom. But it seems more likely that it would be Satoto's mom, especially since that family did support the dam project. So, which I'm guessing might be in line with the clinic stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but just throwing out ideas. Oh, and finally, there was such a Irie gave like a cool theory, or helped with a cool theory. That's probably a meme, but it sounds pretty fun, and I'll probably put it on the theory sheet with the idea that most of the inhabitants, or I don't know, maybe there's some sort of project where they're observing mentally ill people, like crazy people, because like in the past I've said, oh, Mion's probably suffering from some mental breakdown slash mental illness, and Reynolds definitely has some sort of mental illness, especially from the hospital therapy we've seen her have. So that'd be interesting if everyone's just sort of crazy. So it's not like something's manipulating them to be crazy. What if they're just actually all crazy? So that's a fun idea. Um, I mean, we don't know if Keiichi's crazy or not, but we do know he was at least had like a special childhood or whatever. But that would be a cool idea. I like it. But let's see what happens for the rest of this chapter, at least. It had begun to rain during my journey back, and just like yesterday, I was now soaked. But I didn't care about something so trivial right now. The pain I felt in my heart that Coach, the one person I trusted, was acting so cruelly, was far worse. Did I have no allies in Hinamizawa anymore? With that naive thought, that I at least wanted my parents to side with me, I stepped up to the front door. Wait, Keiichi. It'll be dark soon. There's something you want to check, right? The uncle. Yes. I wanted to dig up the man's corpse and get a look at his back. If there was a tiger tattoo there, I would know beyond a doubt he was Satoko's uncle. That long night wouldn't end until I was certain. If this insane world was all reparation, all a divine punishment, then I needed to make certain whether I had been successful enough to even deserve to pay that price. I went to the storage room again and got the shovel. It had been washed in the rain, but the paint was peeling, making it look unsightly. You're still forgetting the shovel, by the way. Maybe one day you'll remember it. Uishi's probably finding it. That's what I've called a million times, but he probably found it by now, right? Maybe. I never ever wanted to touch this thing again. The sensation of it in my hands was totally different from the night before. There was a ruthless coldness about it. Yeah, it would be dark soon, so I needed the lantern too. There would be a little bit of light from the streetlights, but it would get extremely dark. I thought I put the lantern here, but I suddenly noticed it wasn't anywhere to be found. Then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Of course, on that night I hadn't brought the lantern back with me. What? When did this happen? I've been calling out the shovel, but he forgot a lantern too? I thought he put it on his bicycle. Oh, disaster! Chi-Chi made a mistake I didn't even see. Oh no. If I didn't go get it soon, it would be very dark. And then not only would I be unable to find the spot, I'd bury the corpse, but I wouldn't even be able to find the lantern itself. If that happened, it was all over.
急ごう。
In order to fit the shovel in the basket on the front of my bike, I needed to twist it and disassemble it. But it looked like there were dirts in the joint, and no matter how hard I pushed, it didn't want to come apart. After a strenuous effort, I realized I couldn't get it apart, so I decided to hold it in one hand and ride my bike with the other. With the downpour soaking me through, and the shovel in one hand, and riding it one-handed, it was as if I returned to that night. No, return was the wrong word. It was more like that night had never ended. The pain of the raindrops striking me were no different from then. The thing that was different was Hinamizawa. The world and nothing else. The rain clouds were already making it dark, and now was about time for the sun to set. I could tell it would only get rapidly darker. The straight road leading to town. In the middle of it. That should be where I buried it. Yes, it was near the streetlight. On the night too, the water from the downpour was splashing down from the streetlights, overhanging like a waterfall. The pouring rain was exactly the same as it had been that night, and thus brought my memories into focus. I left my bike in the bush and stepped into the forest, where the ground already soaked with mud. Where had I buried him? It's my song. Think. The darkness, the shadows, the water, the mud. Everything was the same. Think. God, this sounds so good. And then I spotted the lantern by a fallen moss-covered tree. That's right, I left it there. Right there. If I left the lantern here, then I would have buried him over here. With the sensation of standing in the sludge, my feet remembered the spot better than my eyes did. I plunged the shovel into the ground. It's hard. My prediction is the body's gonna be there, because the bat was there. I mean, I've explained this so much, so you probably know the drill of what I think about the situation. But yeah. I think after this he should go to Satoko's house and see if the uncle's there, just to confirm that there's not two uncles or something weird going on. It's hard. It wasn't here. I just dubbed it, so it should have been softer. I stuck my shovel down in a few spots to test what they feel like. One of them clearly felt deeper. I recalled where the lantern was, where the trees and the things in relation to each other, and knew it had to be here. Under here slept that man's corpse. There would definitely be the tattoo of a tiger on his back. But if it wasn't there, then I had made a horrible mistake and killed someone completely unrelated instead. I would be more dazed at the fact that Satoko's uncle wasn't dead than I would regret having gotten someone else mixed up in this. If this insane world was punishment for the sin of committing murder, I wouldn't be able to accept it until I killed Satoko's uncle for good. And then, without fear, I'd attack him again. And that time, I would kill him for sure. But what if the tattoo was there? That would mean I killed Satoko's uncle. But that would be terribly strange. If I kill him for sure, then who is the uncle at Satoko's house this very moment? Impossible. I didn't even know anymore what I was using the word impossible to refer to. I've used the word quite a few times today. If If I had to make the word impossible fit just one thing, what would it be? That much was obvious to me. Ooh, I like this. I like those couple of lines. Feels very dramatic. I shouted, then turned behind me. There's nobody there, of course. It hadn't been bothering me for a while, but those footsteps had followed me this entire day. Even just now, an extra footsteps had splashed behind me. No one was actually there, no indications of anyone, even. But they were there. That's right. Thinking back, the first time I heard those footsteps was after Tatarigoroshi and I had parted. Those footsteps were my welcome into this strange, inside-out world. No one could be there. I got no response. Whoever it was, they just kept staring at me. It wasn't ominous, just unpleasant. After staring into empty space for a bit as I bathed in the rain, my illogical anger slipped away. My tension loosened, and a tired feeling reared its head. I tasted this feeling that night too. The sudden exhaustion I felt as tension in my brain loosened. My vision quickly narrowed, and I felt like everything around me had suddenly gotten darker. I couldn't give into this sensation. I would light what little explosives were left in my brain and force myself to keep going. I needed to dig that man up, before my stamina ran out. I needed to see the tattoo on his back. I caught my suddenly raged breath and calmed down. Then I stuck the shovel into the soft, muddy ground again. It felt exactly the same as that night. The sense of digging a hole in the bench with water coming into it with every wave. What day was today? Had I gone back to the night of the Tatarigoroshi? Every strange thought that came into my mind tormented me. Given my exhaustion, I didn't think I could manage to hold those thoughts back. Once the hole was deep, all illumination finally faded, blanketing my vision in jet black. It was probably the moment the sun had fully set too. That night, I had feared the worst and gone without using much light. My senses were so strained that I could see even in that darkness. But now, I didn't have that kind of strength left. I drained everything I had last night, and now the darkness would be lethal. I decided to turn on the lantern. Putting it on the first setting would make it give off a faint light. Even with how little there was, it was enough, and people wouldn't be able to see it from far away in this rain. I grabbed the chilled lantern, turned the dial with a click, set it to the weakest light setting, and turned it on. An uncanny world of silhouettes appeared before me. A complex and strange shadowy world, created by an intricate entanglement of trees and branches. I had only turned on a light, and it was light that was all it took to make the world into something else. I let out a quick, tired breath and wiped the liquid, neither rain nor sweat, from my brow. Then I raised the shovel into the air and slammed it into the mud. That moment, the silhouettes surrounding me ominously all moved at once. Inside my head, something packed in there, something coarse but not too hot or cold, was loudly rushing about. The silhouettes were all around me, looking down at me. And one of them, a silhouette got bigger than the others, stepped forward. Hello? Ah! Oh, it's the policeman watching him. Well, this is good or bad. This is bad because they're probably not in the same mindset that the Anto's alive and they know he's been missing for a couple days. But it's good because I'd rather have Keiichi with the police than in the town. But yeah, this definitely looks bad for Keiichi in a sense that they're gonna find out that he murdered someone. That was cool though. I thought he was just gonna be paranoid, but it's all the cops watching him. The tortoise in my brain shot through my whole spine and left me at my waist. The strength in my body all left me through my hips, and I crunched down with a splash into the sea of mud. I dug myself.
Oh, sh! 目上の人にはその後に3もつけるとなおよろしいかと思いますよ。そうでないと大人になってからいろいろと苦労します。
It wasn't only Owishi, but 5 or 6 of them in a row, men wearing raincoats. I had no inkling that this many people had gotten so close. It was like, once I turned on the lantern, they just appeared there, sliding out of the shadows.
どうぞ、私たちのことは気にしないでください。森の木立だとでも思って。
Don't mind. Well, now it might be interesting, because what if the body isn't there? Then all the cops would be super shocked too. I mean, Keiichi would be super shocked, but it might be, you know, thinking as Keiichi, that might be a relief, because obviously, even if they help him, Keiichi doesn't want to get freaking arrested and probably put away for a long time. I don't know the rules in Japan about children murdering, children crimes or whatever, but yeah, don't mind them.
そうです。私たちのことは気にされず、どうぞ穴掘りをお続けになってください。こんな時間にこんな土砂降りの中で、そんなにも真剣にやっているんですからね。邪魔なんかしませんよ。心ゆくまで掘っちゃってください。
No, thank you, I said. When I tried to get up and turn around, 2 men blocked that route. Just say no thank you and walk away. They stood on either side of me and lifted me up with amazing strength and threw me into the sea of mud. Hey. As I soaked in the mud bath I dug for myself, I looked up at the silhouettes looking down at me. Owishi squatted, picked up my shovel and threw it at my feet for me. It bounced loudly off the mud and hit me in the face. Ouch.
ほら、続きをどうぞ。続きを。
I couldn't bear the oppressiveness of the silhouettes surrounded me, and slowly I stuck the shovel into the mud again. I felt like I was digging my own grave. If I kept digging, it wouldn't matter whether there was a tattoo or not, because that man's corpse would appear eventually. It was all over, surrounded on all sides and nowhere to go. But I just couldn't figure it out, no matter how much I thought about it. Why were they here? Was it Takano-san? That was the only one person who could have made the connection between me and this place. Shit, I knew it. She deserved to die.
手が休んでますよ。
Did you just kick us? Oh my god. Hello, can we file for some police assault? Against a minor? That's it. I don't know. She kicked me in the back, which took me by surprise, sending me flying into the mud.
ちゃっちゃと掘っちゃってくださいよ。雨の中で待たされる方の身にもなってほしいもんです。
No one's asking you. You can go back in your cars and I'll tell you when I'm finished digging.
くそ、そんなに雨が嫌なら帰ればいいだろう。
We should hit some mud into my face.
口より先に手を動かしてください。口と手を一緒に動かすのは落語家だけ。ねえ。
The men around him didn't react, not knowing quite whether they should laugh. But when Oishi glared at them, they started mumbling out pain chuckles. Just who was this guy? I knew the world had changed after that night. But if I went further back, didn't it start when this guy showed up? That was when our peaceful days had been taken from us. Ever since he showed up in Hinamizawa, things had been odd. Everyone stopped smiling, and the world went crazy. The ground under my feet gradually got harder and heavier. At this point, even I started to think something was odd. I hadn't buried him this deep on that night, had I? My exhaustion peaked and I sat down on the spot.
いつまで掘ればいいんだよ。
最近の若い人は体力がありませんね。おい。
At Oishi's, it's so hard not to say Uishi. It's been so ingrained in my mind. The men all pulled out their own sinister-looking shovels. Oh no, sinister shovels. As I watched dazed, one of them grabbed my collar, dragged me out of the hole, and threw me to the ground. The rest of the men stepped into the hole and dug, and started shoveling themselves. As I stood at them dumbfounded, Oishi sauntered over and squatted down looking at me directly.
前原圭一さん、あなたの趣味は雨の夜の穴掘りですかな。
When I didn't respond, Oishi took one of the tin buckets they were using to bail out muddy water, scooped up some of it, and splashed the whole thing in my face. Gross.
今日は大雨ですから、これ以上いくら濡れても全然わかりませんね。
Oishi smiled to himself, then scooped up another bucket full of muddy water.
もう一回聞きますよ。あなたの趣味は雨の夜の穴掘りですかな。
そんな趣味のやついるもんか。
Splash. Oishi hit me with another bucket full of muddy water. The pebbles in it stunned.
あの穴を掘ると何が出てくるんですかな。私、花坂じいさんのここ掘れワンワンってのが昔から憧れでしてね。
As he spoke, he ran the bucket through the muddy water again, to splash it in my face again.
あそこにどんな宝物が埋まってるんですかね。私にちょっとだけでも教えてくれませんか。
If you want to know, then do it on your own time. You fucking pig. Splash. I wasn't saying that out loud, but Oishi mercilessly drenched me in muddy water again anyway. Shit. If only you hadn't shown up, the world wouldn't have gone wrong. Ever since you showed up, things have been strange. Satoko got abused by her uncle, and I ended up killing him, and the world went crazy. He was how it all began. Because of this culprit. He splashed another bucket of mud in my face. My insides were seething with anger. Die. You die too. If I had some strange power to kill someone by cursing them, like with Takano-san, then you're dead. It won't be Oyasho-sama's curse, it'll be mine. I'll curse you and kill you.
反抗的な目つきですね。これを機に少しそのあたりをお勉強してしまいましょうか。今は平和な時代ですがね。私があなたくらいだった頃は、何でも鉄拳制裁が普通でして。
おいさ。
One of the Digimon in raincoats wiped some sweat off and called Oishi over. Oishi tossed the bucket away, then turned around with an evil grin on his face.
はいはい、何でしょうか。
これを見てください。
Acceptance or maybe resignation. I wanted to say to them, so you blockheads finally found it. Yeah, that's right. I'm the one who killed him. But you're the police, so it's your own job to figure out who he is, right? Come on, prove to me that he's really Satoku's uncle.
何ですかこりゃ。
多分古い排水管ではないかと。あそこの用水路に繋がっているようです。
Oh, I guess Keiichi did mention that. What if he was... I mean, there's no way he's alive, but someone could have, like, went through the drain pipe and took the body. I guess.
ぶっ壊しちゃいましょうか。
Or is it in the way of digging?
どうせ使ってない缶でしょ。
The man all exchanged glances, then hesitantly broached another topic.
大石さん、もうかなり手応えが固いです。これより深くってことはありえないと思います。
掘る場所を間違えました。
いえ、初めのうちは明らかに掘り返す感触でした。ですがこのくらいを掘った頃から急に硬くなりまして、多分もともと掘った穴よりも深く掘り進んだのだと思います。
じゃあつまり何ですか。
So the body was done. That's insane. Though it kind of works out for Keiichi. I was gonna say Keiichi was gonna be safe with Oishi, but he's being a lot more savage in this one than the other one, so maybe it's not the best. If he could somehow use Oishi and point him to another direction, then maybe it'll... I don't know if he's capable of doing that, but that might be a good chance.
ここには穴があって何もなく、ただそのまま埋め直されたと皆さんそうおっしゃるわけで。
What? What were they talking about?
こりゃ参ったな。ねえ前原さん。
Oishi grabbed my collar and dragged me to the huge hole they dug. The mud inside was like an ocean, and I couldn't see any drain pipe down there. One of the men stirred it with a shovel, letting me hear it landed in something hard. There's no doubt I'd buried him right here, but I hadn't buried him this deep. I didn't dig deep enough to unearth an entire drain pipe. So, then... Okay, so obviously no one sneaked through a drain pipe. That was dumb. I wasn't really understanding. So he did just disappear. Well, I mean, obviously the other option is someone dug him up and then dug the hole back. So then, this man, his corpse, where was it? Proof that I had been successful on that night was gone. Gone. Then, what on earth was I actually crazy after all, and just possessed by the delusion that I killed someone? That couldn't be. It was the unmistakable truth. It couldn't have been a hallucination. But now, the most important evidence that it hadn't been an illusion was gone. I killed him. I buried him. I had absolute unwavering confidence in that fact. Then, did I fail to kill him? After I left here, had he started breathing again, crawled out, and gone back to Satoku's house? Was that it? I had come here to see whether he had a tattoo or not, and yet the truth I unearthed was far more than that. Yesterday, what was I? I killed him. I buried him. There's no doubt. But for some reason he lived and crawled back out? That was impossible too. I'm so tired of hearing the word impossible over and over. I get it. Dead people don't like to play by the rules here in Hinamizawa. Then I'll kill you as many times as I need to. I'll keep killing you until you never show your face to Satoku again. Oishi and the others were muttering to each other. Eventually their conversation ended and Oishi came towards me. What did he want to say? What did he want to do? I stiffened, tensing up, and then Oishi just ignored me like I wasn't even there and passed right by me. The other men too, they ignored me and shuffled away. Eventually, there was no longer a sign that anyone was around, and I returned to my quiet world of silhouettes. The only one left there was me. The only sound of the pouring rain filled up the silence. Only the sound of the pouring rain filled up the silence. Well, good thing I ended the video before. That was a long time for a chapter break. And it's only a chapter break, right? It's still going. Or maybe it is a chapter end. It is a chapter end. Alright. This will be a short video. I'm gonna do the tips and then end it here, since we had an extra long video anyways. New tips. We got a phone call and probably text, but it's black, so that's kind of weird. Inquiry request. Otonomiya Police Station Command Center transmission recording. June 20th, 8:08 p.m.
こちら沖宮 PS 感度良好です。
車両ナンバー紹介をお願いします。獅子骨歯の4344。
副将獅子骨歯の 4344。
Let me guess.
少々お時間もらえますがよろしいですか？
It's gonna be Takano's car.
お願いします。
Number match. Shishibone H4344. It's a weird license plate. Well, weird. To, I guess, Canadian standards. Owner Takano Mio. Well, it doesn't fit, but that should just be blank. Address blank Hinamizawa. What was it? It was like 5 blanks. It was 5. Not Mia, not Shi. Well, yeah, but Sonozaki definitely wouldn't fit. None of the main characters, right? It's nope. Keiichi, nope. Shion, Tomotachi, no. Nothing we can get from that. Vehicle make and model. Theft reports none. Special mentions nothing of note.
沖宮 PS より大石社どうぞ。先ほどのナンバーが判明しました。大石社どうぞ。大石社応答願います。
He's saying like Oisha.
あれ電波悪いのかな。大石社応答願出ませんね。
大石さんが車両紹介？誰の車だよ。
村人の車ですね。至って平凡な。
Say the name.
何者だよ。大石さんが聞いてくるからにはただ者じゃないんだろ。
突起事項欄は完全に空欄ですね。S 号指定もなし。
Alright, no indications it's related to Sonozaki's.
減点もなしだし。
バッシングでもされて腹が立ったんじゃないの？
Say the name.
あの人、根に持つとなかなか忘れないタイプなんだよ。
I'm still guessing it's Jiro or Mio. I don't know why I just said their first names. I meant Takano and Tomotachi. Well, that was not good. Thanks for that. That means he found a car? All I can think of is Takano's car since she's dead, so she'd have to leave her car. And maybe there's something in the trunk too, right? Yeah. Record of Malice. What is this? Is this a scene? It is a scene. Okay. He said it smelled. He said the floor smelled. The food smelled. Okay, then you're losing it already. He said the food smelled. He said it smelled because I smelled. Oh, this is Satoko. Some inner sad stuff, huh? He said I smell because I don't take baths. He said to take a bath 3 times a day because I was a smelly person. He said I had to stay in the bath for a long time every time. He must be possessed by something too. This is the same thing the man who died said. Okay, maybe it's not? Why does he know what that man said before? That much is obvious. That same thing that possessed that man is now possessing him. Can't a sudden earthquake make a big hole in front of the house? If it did, he would definitely go and look into it. Then I just had to push him in. I won't give in until I get that chance. I won't give in, I won't cry. I won't give in, I won't cry. Someone is apologizing again. I mean, the easiest way to explain that is that was Satoko, and I guess her dad was doing the same thing, and she thinks all this abuse is like a demon possessing the people. The apologizing thing, because Satoko, I don't know. When I hear the apologizing thing, I just think of Keiichi. Well, what would that reference to? Nothing that we know of. It won't reference to anyone else we know of. I mean, it's not like we really know, well, I guess you do know Mion's life, home life, but not like completely. But it's just saying Satoko, but like, what is, it feels weird. Someone's apologizing again. It's a weird line, huh? And obviously there's that connection through apologizing throughout the series, which I haven't really made a theory about, but... Alright, we did it. Chapter complete. Keiichi's still in a bad situation. Hopefully, Irie hadn't called Keiichi's parents, or it's just gonna get worse. It's like he's being attacked by all sides. The people at the clinic don't like him, which is bad. Oishi's being a lot more dangerous, to the point where he's kind of abusive without actually having the right to be at the moment. So he's not a reliable ally, and Rena and Mion were acting pretty spooky. And Rita was playing along with it too, right? The whole class was. And Satoko's still not doing well, so everything's looking bad. I don't see how Keiichi's gonna turn this around. Maybe he can go to Shion, I guess. We haven't seen her in a while, and she's usually doesn't follow the crazy people in the village, so maybe. But she is friends with the coach, so I don't know. This is a rough spot for Keiichi, but let's see if he can pull through. Next time. Bye for now.